Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Studying the Masters. This is Alicia Dianne Art Channel, obviously, and I am Alicia Dianne Art. I'm Alicia Dianne Art. I'm Alicia Dianne. Anyway, let's get started. Let's see, we're continuing working on the Lucy Fleming illustration of Foragers. We're going to be working on that today. We started adding texture last week, and we're going to continue adding the texture, and then hopefully we can get to characters today. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, but let's go ahead and do this and step right in. So I'm going to go ahead and have a dual screen, so you'll see me on the little bottom there. And we're gonna continue working. I was thinking about my intro music because I wanted to do I'm trying to start adding more and more and making this channel like what I feel I want it to be, like more legit, or like more just I want to add, I want to keep adding things. Of course I want to keep my same theme going, the same thing that I've been doing here for years, but I want to just keep on improving, if that makes sense. So hopefully I can do that. Hopefully it will, come across in the way that I would like it to. Uh-oh. Did I lose my camera there for a second? You see, this is what happened when I try to with stuff live. Like, I always end up ruining things. Hopefully I didn't destroy it too much. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Happy Friday. Happy Alicia month. I am going to officially call it because it is my birthday month. I'm having my birthday in 10 days from now, April 15. I'm excited. It feels like a new chapter. It feels like a new part of life for me. I think it kind of is. It's a big birthday for me, celebrating the big 40, and I am proud of that, and I am happy to happy to be reaching that age, and hopefully I will reach many more ages if I'm lucky. So let's go ahead and get into this painting today. Where are we at? What layer are we on? I'm gonna trying to find just like the right size for this. Don't mind the ambulance or fire truck going by. I heard there was an earthquake this morning in New York, and I'm like, what the heck? I told my son, like, this is proof the world is ending. It's over for all of us. How the heck is there an earthquake in New York? I'm just like tripping out about it. It just seems so weird to me. Like where is this all coming from? I don't know. But anyway, hopefully everybody, all my friends in New York, hopefully you guys are doing okay. I heard it was. I had no idea like what the scale was for earthquakes. So I heard like 4 point something, and I'm like, oh no, that must be terrible. But apparently, it was not like a huge deal. So I mean, I just hope that everybody's doing all right and staying safe out there, because this world is really ridiculous. Anyway, I want to talk about a few things this week. I've been having a lot on my mind and a lot on my plate, I feel. Am I on the right layer? No, I think this is some different layer. I want to start painting this log and adding texture to that. So I'll go ahead and create a clipping mask for that layer. Oh yeah, and I found this shortcut for making the layer. I forgot what it was. I'll have to look that up again. I know it's not too complicated. So let's see, create clipping mask. How do you make it a clipping mask again? It should be here, right? You left click. Create clipping mask. Okay. I swear, I learn one thing and then the next day it's already forgotten. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. At least that's how it feels to me sometimes. I think maybe I want to make this a little bit more of just a little bit more blue in there. I'll just add a little bit more throughout, because I like having some of that in there. Looks like there's a little bit of glow from the water. Let's see. Let's see. But there are a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One of which I just started a mentorship program in which I am a mentee, and I was kind of nervous that I was going to be like the oldest one in the crew. Because I haven't. I feel like it's with the. Am I still? I'm still on eraser. No wonder why it's not working. No, I'm such a goofball. But anyway, I just want to I'm not going to go through the details of it because I mean it is a confidential group, but I want to just go over my experience a little bit. So it just started. They do these mentorship circles in women in animation, and I just started the group last night. But the signups were maybe a month and a half ago or something like that, and you have to apply. It's a formal application and everything. But everyone seems to be my age and in this similar, we're all in different situations and stuff. I think majority of the people in my group have been in the industry, and if you've been with me for any amount of time, you've probably heard my strife and struggles of trying to work in the animation industry and it not really working out for me. But that's kind of one of the things that I kind of talked about a little bit, was this I hate to sound like a complainer, but I really realized last night when I was talking about it that I've been holding that part in for so long and feeling like I can't talk about it because I'm afraid to come off like a complainer and afraid to be judged for being negative. And it's my whole life I felt like I've had to kind of combat the idea that I was feeling like I'm being negative just because I really wanted to talk about the struggles that I feel, because in my life I've had many struggles and I've always felt like it's not okay to talk about it, or as soon as I try to talk about it, somebody will try to quickly silence me. Or that's how I felt for a really long time. But it felt so good to just talk even just a little bit about, okay, this is how I've been feeling, this is, and I think I was the only one that kind of did that, kind of talked about my unanswered dreams or whatever. But it felt refreshing, even if I felt like maybe I might be judged for this. Oh well, I'm just gonna say what I'm on the eraser. Why do I keep going to the eraser? I'm why is it not coming out the right color? Because I'm not on the right thing. Anyway, hopefully, now it's probably way too light. Yeah, I think it's lighter than I want it to be. I was wondering why it wasn't working. But anyway, I was trying to say, it just felt really nice to just kind of talk about how I was feeling in my journey, and just and I didn't feel like I was judged or anything by it at all. I felt like it seems like it'll be a safe space. Like I mentioned before, it was just a first meeting, but I feel like it seems like it should be a space where it's okay to talk about whatever. So I'm hopeful, and I think it can be really nice. I'm looking forward to what's possible, I guess. So I'm hopeful. Let's see what happens. We will have to see what happens in the long run, but I think it'll be good. And I'll just, let you know about my experience. I heard there are other organizations in the animation industry that are also offering up different types of similar experiences, and I'm just really glad that you don't have to be fresh out of college to get a mentorship, because it's I kind of been feeling like this since, I don't even know, forever. But I kind of feel like once you've hit a few years after getting your undergraduate degree, nobody gives a you know what. I'm trying not to curse on this channel. I typically don't like to curse in my real life, but of course I do sometimes. I'm trying not to, though. I want to be all age friendly. But yeah, I just feel like,
sometimes it's hard for people to care, or like, oh well, like you're old enough now, so just figure it out. But it's like, but what if I haven't? What if I haven't figured it out? What if I've been trying and working my butt off and I still just haven't figured it out yet? I'm still like navigating like how to get the success in my life that I want, in my career that I want. And it's just some like, it feels like people just, it feels like it's hard to get someone to care when you're at a certain age level. And maybe, sometimes it is like, buckle up and just, handle it. And that's what I do most of the time. But sometimes it's like, okay, I need some help here. Like, I'm kind of struggling. I kind of been trying, things for a long time, and I'm not really sure if it's working out for me. So could somebody kind of help me? And I'm just glad that that's available, because I was starting to feel like it might not be. And that's also like kind of what I've been wanting to do with the Cartoon Arts Center, is kind of have it so that people who are at different stages in their life, you might be in your 30s, you might be in your 40s, you might be in your 50s or 60s, and still like haven't creatively figured it out yet. Or maybe you started, maybe you were discouraged. A lot of people are discouraged, from art at a young age. And a lot of people listen to their parents and follow a career that they end up not liking, and don't really come to that aha moment until they're older. And I've seen that happen, and I've seen people come in and they're like in their, midlife, and they're like, I want to give this art thing a chance. I didn't give it a chance when I was younger because of, you know, people in my family didn't want me to, so I listened to them. But now I'm getting older and I don't want to have this regret in my life. So, people like that exist, and I just think that there should be avenues and opportunities for people to find their place, regardless of, what their age is. So that's what I'm hoping can happen more, and I'm just glad that there's this opportunity now. And, I don't know, I just feel like not everybody achieves the success they want in life, like, right off the bat. So, I don't know. What do you do when you don't meet that initial dream? You just give up completely and work at Sears, or I don't even know if Sears is still in business, but you just like give up entirely? That's not where I'm at. That's not what I'm trying to do. And I don't know. I'm trying to like navigate the idea that um, that I think I do have a new dream for myself. I don't have the same dream that I had before. Honestly, I don't even feel like I want to work in an animation studio anymore, because I'm not willing to now give up that much percentage of my life to be working overtime. And you know I don't even know if I mentioned this on this channel, but I want to have another child. I'm getting at that age where I'm like, all right, it's kind of now or never. I want to have my freedom and flexibility, but I also want to make art, and I want to make art with other people. So that was also one of the things I've been thinking about lately. Like, how do I, you know, be independent but also work with others, because I really love that part. And I know that I've talked about that before too. It's just like that kind of feeling that you have when you're in art school for the first time, and you're actually meeting other people who like, wow, there's other weirdos that are just like me. That's like something that you never really forget. I feel like that was something that I never forgot, that feeling of, wow, I'm not the only person who thinks this way. And I feel like most energized around other people that think um, similarly to me, or like have those types of crazy imagination like me and want to explore different things. So I really want to work with other people, but also I want to be that entrepreneur at the same time. So I'm still navigating like how to best figure that out, I think. But I'm starting to feel hopeful. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? I think I'm starting to feel hopeful. I think I may be believing. I may be starting to believe in some things can happen for me, and it might be good. I'm trying to figure out what layer these plants. All right, there, this layer. These plants back here. I noticed there's a lot of like this tan color within the green, which is nice that it's like a balance of the warm and cool. So I think it's important too to note when you're doing cool colors, you want to have that balance of the warm, and the same thing with the vice versa. When you're doing warm colors, you want to have cool. It's like definitely a temperature balance. Let's see. I think I don't want to turn this off. Maybe I do want to turn that off for a while. Oh, you know what? Let me put some of these stems in, and I think I can start working without that sketch because it's kind of getting in my way. First of all, what layer do I want to start putting that stuff on? First, I think I want to, let's see, there's more than one layer in here. Let me pull this back a little bit. I'll probably flatten this. Alright, those two, right? Alright, so there's one kind of inking line for the kids. Let me turn this down like way more. Why isn't it working? Is it locked? No. Alright, I want to start putting those lines in because I feel like I want to turn off my pencil line altogether, but I need to kind of have some of these base. There's so many lines in this drawing. I mean, it's a good thing, but it's a lot. I think I'm going to put that on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to see, how do I add a new layer? Let's find that shortcut again. Layer, new layer. So it's like Shift Control N. So let me figure it out with this weird keyboard I have. Yay! Alright. And it's good too, it gives you the option there to like name it. So that's a good thing. I love this mug. I got it a few years ago at Target. But I love polka dots. They have this little polka dot outfit at Target. I think I want to get it for myself. I'm getting to the age where I'm shopping at like all-purpose stores. I've gotten a few. Don't judge me. I've gotten a few outfits at Walmart before. And now that I live in Pasadena, there's no Walmart in Pasadena, which I'm kind of glad because I was like overly reliant on Walmart, and it's depressing. When you shop too much at Walmart, it starts to be depressing. Like no shade, Walmart, but I start to feel like sad in my soul after a while. And actually, a few years ago, I vowed that I would that I would stop shopping there altogether. That didn't last. I ended up like, oh damn it, I still need to get stuff. But now I've been going to Target, and it's really nice in there. I mean, it feels pleasant, and I think perhaps I'm going to do it more. I think but I know I kind of, there's some outfits I'm like, is it bad to like buy outfits from these type of stores? But no, why not? like them. If other people don't like them, then kind of oh well. How did I even get on this topic? I don't know. Oh, the polka dots. Yeah, anyway, I think I might just get that polka dot thing. I think it's so cute. Maybe next week you'll see me wearing it. Who knows? Who knows? Let's see if I like this pencil. Let's see. It might be too thin. It was already on like 25. Maybe I'll leave it there. I don't know where I must have got this from I'm pretty sure I got these from not the Domestica. Yeah, it's a Domestica course for, what is that guy's name? Forgetting his name. Anyway, Joel Santana. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got these brushes from his course. I like that they include like the brush packs in some of the Domestica classes. In the Lucy Fleming, her course, she also offers some brushes, which is nice. Let's see. This one kind of, let's see. Let's see, it's kind of two different colors for this one. I'm still not sure if I like this brush. I really like the brushes better in Procreate. And for Lucy Fleming's course, the brushes are in Procreate, because her course is a Procreate course. But if you wanted the Joel Santana, his are, maybe I like this one better. This is also from the same like set. Actually, this one doesn't go quite as far into the leaf, so let's see. I think I might have mentioned before, it doesn't need to be exactly perfectly like the original, but I want to make it have the same feeling and mood. Like, I don't want it to feel like it's a different piece altogether. Let's see. The brushes change in color so much. I mean, I could probably do like an alpha lock, which if you aren't sure what that is, alpha lock, I'll just show you really quickly, because when I learned about this, it changed my whole life, I feel like. And you know what? I don't know. Sometimes it is faster to just go ahead and just pencil the whole thing, and then when you put it on alpha lock, which is right here, then you can go ahead and change the color. I'll just use this example without having to worry about it spilling over. And when I first learned that from I learned it from Steve Santian, who is a background painter at Disney. He mentored into me for a couple different occasions, and it really helped me. Alright, so that's alpha lock. I'll turn that off. It's the little, it looks like a checkerboard under the lock in Photoshop. But it's also available in Procreate. If you just hit that, if you just click the layer, you can put it on alpha lock. Alright, back to work. Let's see. Looking for more turquoisey now. But kind of darky. I don't know. There's so many color changes that I might just end up just doing all of these and then coming back. I missed a leaf also over here. So let's see. Her stems also change color, which plants can do that. They make it a little bit thicker, I think. Hopefully that's not too thick. Maybe just a little bit thicker than I would like it to be. So it's on 8 before, it's on 15 now, so maybe like 10, 11. Let's try 10. want to change color every second. That might be a little bit frustrating. I have been listening to Cowboy Carter. My son is judging me for it. But I really love the album. I've gone back and forth with whether or not I feel like I'm a Beyonce fan. I have followed her and unfollowed her many times. I'm sure she does not notice. But I don't know. Like, some things kind of weirded me out. I kind of was like, I don't know. It feels a little. Sometimes I got some like Illuminati vibes, and I was like, I don't know. But because my husband is like totally conspiracy theorist, and he said, "Oh, look, there's like black and white, there's like checkerboard stuff," and I'm like, maybe you're right. Maybe like she says Illuminati. But there's been 2 times in my life where I've listened to a Beyonce album and I feel like it met me exactly where I was in my life. And the first time was Lemonade a few years ago, and I just love that album so much. And it was like my music, you know. There's been a lot of Beyonce songs that have not been my music, like I don't need to mention like which ones, but there's been a lot of songs where I feel like, yeah, that's not really my style. But there's been some times where I'm like, this is exactly what I need to hear right now, and I'm here for it when it's like, this is exactly what I need to hear, you know. And I don't buy albums very often, you know. I'm at the age where I don't, you know, I don't like to spend a lot of money on music. I still listen to Pandora. Nobody else I know listens to Pandora still, but I still listen to Pandora. I don't buy a whole lot of albums. Most of the albums that I bought in the past couple of years were like, you know, Disney soundtracks and stuff. But yeah, I'm digging this album. I bought it and I love it. I gotta say, I do love it. It's really meeting me where I'm at right now in my life, and I'm here for that. So, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the album. I've never been to a Beyonce concert. I've heard many good things. My mom has been, and I haven't even been. So sad, I know. But I don't know. I'm thinking if she does go on tour for this album, I might even check it out. I might just have to, you know, I feel like it's one of those things. It's like so many artists that I feel like I wanted to see that I didn't see, and now it's too late. Like, I always wanted to see like Michael Jackson, but never got to. And then it's like too late. And you know, once they're gone, it's like they're gone. You know, and it's like sad. So I don't know. I think I do want to. I don't want to. You know, I don't go on too many concerts and stuff, but maybe I'll have to. I did see Rihanna perform, and that was honestly really disappointing. She did not perform for me. I did not think that I did not think her concerts was good. I'm just saying, I'm a fan of her. Y'all know, like, I got Barbados blood. You know, I'm Bayesian, but you know, so she represents, you know, my family, you know, Barbados. But yeah, I like her music, but I didn't like her live performance. Really wasn't that. It didn't bring it for me. That's all I'm saying. Didn't bring it. So, and I'm just switching here because some of these are overlapping, and so for that I wanna. I also buy her makeup sometimes. I just recently started trying her foundation. Sometimes I wear it. Right now I'm not, because they didn't have my color last time. I went to I'm all over the place. And I went to what is that name of that store? That makeup store. It's not Sephora, it's the other one. I always forget their name. Anyway, it's that other makeup store that's not Sephora. Whatever you call it. Anyway, they didn't have my color last time, so I bought my MAC. Been using MAC for years, and I just recently started using the Fendi. And not like you care, but just saying. Just saying that's what's happening in my life. So anyway, um, back to life topics. I really wanted to get into that today and talk about, like, where what next in my life, what next in my career. I mentioned, like, I want to have that freedom, especially because I want to expand my family. So I want to have, like, my own freedom, but still make my art. So I think I want to just pour more into, like, the entrepreneur side of things. I think that's where my heart is kind of leaning to. I've been debating, like, how much I want to put into children's books. And I'm kind of wondering if the children's books I put out, I just want to put my own stories. So that's kind of where I've been at, like, whether or not to, like, freelance for that or to just tell my own stories, because I have my own stories and I feel like I create enough characters in my head and in my sketches that I can, come up with so many more stories. I'm still figuring that out, though. I'm still figuring out if children's books are for me. I really like it. I really want to explore it. I think I'm afraid that it won't work out, because I do have a lot of curiosity. Is that the word I'm looking for? I have a lot of curiosity about it, but I'm afraid if it won't work out, because I don't know. Maybe it is just that I do have my fears still. Well, you cannot live on fear and be successful. I saw this really good quote and I really liked it. I follow these, like, random, like, motivational type of accounts on Instagram, and sometimes they give stupid advice, that happens. But sometimes they say some cool stuff. Sometimes they have, like, something I feel like legitimate to say. And when they do have something legitimate to say, then I'm here for that. So, the quote, I'm about to just keep on moving and not even tell you guys the quote. The quote is really like, it says, like, disappear for 6 months and, like, work your butt off and then come back. I want to find what it actually says, because I did take a screenshot and I know I messed up the quote. So let me go back, and I want to favorite it too, because I think it was really good. Alright, so it's on Business Growth Mentor. It's, like, one of the accounts I follow. And it says, disappear for 6 months, do a ton of deep work, and 99% of your problems will disappear. I kind of still messed it up a little bit, so I'll say it again. Disappear for 6 months, do a ton of deep work, and 99% of your problems will disappear. So that was the quote I read, and I really like it, because I feel like, man, like, sometimes we're just too, like, worried about the perception, I guess, or, like, we're just too worried about the wrong things, So I don't know. The thing with freelance is I don't want to freelance anymore with, like, private clients who don't have any experience. I want people who really take this stuff seriously, and I want people who really take their shit seriously, because I'm tired of working with people who don't know the business, who don't appreciate art, who undervalue art and artists, and I just don't want that. I want to work with clients who go to an actual publishing agency, and their work is already approved, to be published nationally at least, and then the publisher then brings me on, because I don't want to work for these small people who continuously devalue what I'm doing. And I think I talked about pricing last week, and that's where I'm at. I got ghosted again by this client and another client, like, that I've been working with for a couple of months. She she never signed a contract, and I trusted that she had already signed it because I sent it to her twice. And first she said, "All right, I'm gonna, we've known each other for like 8 years already," and but she's, never done any work with illustrators or anything like that. And I trusted that she was gonna sign the contract, and she hadn't yet. And I gave her a huge discount. Like I was talking to my mom about it, like I gave her like 75% off. Like I gave her such a big discount because I known her so long, and because I really wanted to get this going, and I wanted to, like, really practice on my children's book illustration, because I know that I was switching fields, or like switching like my focus, and I wanted to change my portfolio over. So I'm like, I'm doing this stuff now, so I'm gonna give her this discount because of all of these different factors. And then she was upset because, like, I wasn't signing away my copyright. I'm like, well, no, I'm not signing away my copyright. I already gave you like a huge discount, so I'm not gonna like give you my work for free, like, to do like anything with. And she was like really like disappointed by that, and I'm just like, you know what? Expletive, expletive. That's what I felt like saying, like, forget this. But that's how I felt, like, really, I gave you a huge deal, because I know you, and because I'm, doing a portfolio redo. So I gave you a big discount, and you still want more for free? And it's like, no. So I'm really done working with private clients. That's what I'll say about that. I just don't think I want to do that anymore. I'm just sick of people who, they want a big return, but they don't want to invest anything. It's like, how do you want a big return but you don't want to invest anything? It's like, do you just want to hire like a really like a artist that's still in high school? And no offense to artists in high school, but of course you have to build your experience. You're wanting, you're gonna do stuff for basically for free because you're wanting to get your experience, but you don't have the experience yet. So then, like, you want to hire me, and I've been doing this for how many years, and you don't want to pay me anything? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand where people come from sometimes, but I'm kind of over it. So I need to, like, I know that I need to protect myself because I don't want to be like some bitter old artist. Like, just that's been. I was listening. I remember, it reminds me so much of these talks I was listening to, Tony Robbins, and he was talking to this guy, and this poor guy, I think he was a farmer. I'm pretty sure he was in the farming industry, and he was a really nice guy, but he just did not understand business at all, and he would always like trust the people that he was working with, and they kept on taking advantage of him. And he had done all this work for years and years, and I know that he was like an older guy. I can tell by his voice. He must have been at least in his mid-60s. And he was just, frustrated. He was frustrated that he had been taken advantage of so many times. And he's like, and Tony was, just told him, like, you're setting yourself up. Like, just because you're a nice person doesn't mean that you just have to trust people and not have a solid contract and not, like, ask for your actual rate. That's not being a nice person. That's, stepping on your own toes, basically. So he explained it to him. He's like, this is how you're not doing business the right way. It made a lot of sense to me, and I just don't. It seemed to me like a warning, like, don't set yourself up for failure. Just because you're a nice person, you want people to like you or whatever it is. And I feel like I'm past that. I'm not trying to make people like me. I hope that, people, I enjoy people and they enjoy me, but it's not like you need anybody to like you or so you let yourself be taken advantage of. That's not it. It's just not it. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, definitely not trying to convince anybody to work with me anymore. And that's another thing that happened to me, a similar type of thing when I was in graduate school, and I was in this like internship class, and everybody else was an undergraduate. I was the only graduate in the class, but I wanted to take the class anyway because they didn't offer it at school like um, any animation classes for graduate students, and I just wanted to be in animation. So I took the class anyway, so I'm paying out of pocket for the class, or, basically because it's not part of my, I'm not getting credit for it, I'm just taking it for the experience. And one of the professors was like offering me to do some work, and, as it's sort of like on top, like they wanted you to work like any day of the week, and I'm like, well, I should be getting paid for this. And he's like, well, no. And I'm like, well, why not? Like coming in with experience, and it's just like, even if I'm not paid a ton, I feel like I should be paid something. And it's like, nope, you want to get paid, then you're cut from the team, basically. And I'm like, well, fine then. And it's sometimes it's like it sucks, but after you've already done I've been there, I've done work for free already. I've done that. I feel like I've paid my dues already, and I've done like my free experience type of stuff. And so now, like, if people want me to do the work that I've dedicated my life to, then I want to be paid for that. And some people just feel like they don't need to pay you, and that's frustrating. You do have to walk away from things sometimes. I feel like it's a matter of like self-respect, or like there's this book I'm reading now, and they were talking about just that very thing right now. I was reading it yesterday, listening to it. It's an audiobook, but it's called The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. And one of the things that they talk about is like how did he word it? It's basically like standing up for yourself. And when you don't stand up for yourself, like you take from your self-esteem, it cuts from your self-esteem, even if you think it's like not a big deal. Like your internal self knows that you've basically essentially betrayed yourself. And that is, I feel like I've done that in my past when I was younger, and I definitely am never trying to do that again. It's just not worth it. It's not worth any job to kind of, cut your own self-esteem. It's just not worth it. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at. I don't know where you guys are at with your career, or how you feel about where your life is going right now. But I definitely feel like it's like you gotta, even if people try to not value you, you have to value yourself, because it will weigh on you. It really does. It weighs on you. And it's not worth it. That's what I think. So, value yourself. Make sure that you like ensure that you're paid for your work. Like, who asks people to just work and not do nothing? Like, really? Is this like, this is not the slave days. We're trying to make a living. It is that like you're trying to rip off somebody just because you want to be actually paid for your work? Like, serious? I don't know. That's just foolish to me. It's just really foolish. We need to like revolt. Alright, a couple other things. Let's see where we're at. I wanna just trying to make sure. I don't even know if I can. This is so much detail, and I really appreciated doing it this way because I feel like I notice so much more. I know I mentioned that last week, but I really noticed like so much. There's so much line. There's so much line work, and I didn't even notice exactly how much line work is involved. But I appreciate it. Like, that's the thing that makes it really like cool and stand out and fun. It's like all these little details that you have to keep looking, and it's so true with like children. They have this short little attention span, and they just, they get bored. They just do. That's just how they are. So I mean, the more you can kind of create more things for them to look at, I feel like that's better. It's like more entertaining, it's like more engaging for them. And I really like these invisible leaves. I'm definitely gonna steal that. It's just like an outline of a leaf. I just really like how that looks. One of the things that I recommend doing when you're doing this sort of thing, like a master study, is kind of taking note about what you are going to steal. I mean, it sounds like, oh, you're being shady, but no, that's part of being an artist. It's like you're taking bits and pieces from different artists. So the whole idea behind it is that you're not taking everything from one artist. You're taking bits and pieces from multiple artists, and that's what every artist does. I don't care who they are. I think Pablo Picasso is the one who coined the frame, coined the phrase like, bad artists copy, good artists steal. The whole idea of copying is to find things to steal. Like, you want to find different things to, like, oh no, I want to try this, or I like how that looks, I want to try that. And you do it with multiple artists, and I think that is really the most important part, is that you're not just studying one artist, you're studying many. So that way you come up with this kind of melting pot or like hodgepodge of like different things, and that ends up being just you. And I think that is how you really kind of develop your own style, by taking little bits and pieces from many artists that you admire, and then it all comes together in this like random thing that ends up being you and your sort of handwriting. But I enjoy like trying out different things. I kind of like the process of, I really like the process of experimenting. And I didn't always. And I will always credit one teacher that I had at a continuing education class. I took an experimental drawing class, and it was literally the best thing I've ever done for myself creatively. It just loosened me up so much, and it really turned me on to like things that I didn't realize I loved, like experimenting. Because some of these overlap, I will change the color a little bit just so I can still see what's happening. But I love this variety. things overlap, you want to make sure that you're not like, and that's why I did that erase just now, because when you have things that are overlapping, you do want to make sure that you don't have tangents. So you want to make sure that if they're going to overlap, make sure they really overlap so that you can see through to the other side. Like you can see what's not, like you don't have any corners that are like confusing to your audience. You really want to avoid confusing people to the best of your ability. Let me just acknowledge that I got my son's text. Alright. Let's see where we're at. I still have a lot of line work to do. So I think I will put in some of this line work on my own time. I think it would be most helpful because I really wanted to see how much of it I can do completely live. But I think just for the purpose of wanting to explore more artists, and I know that it's going to take a long time to do all of this line work, I think I will go ahead and do some of it on my own time, and then hopefully come back next week and just have the line work done so we can continue on. But it's just little by little, like adding more and more. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, it's kind of purple it came from too. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I'll try to add. Excuse me. Like I said, I'll try to add the line work. Sorry. On my own, and then come back. Because I know it's gonna take a long time to do all of this. It'll be like my entire series. The entire series for just doing the line work for this. Maybe I'll just put a timer so I'll figure out like for the next one that we do if we want to keep on doing certain things live and then coming back for other things. How doing things with no like that is just line and no color, I like how that kind of makes it look like it's more, you know, in the background. It makes it, gives it a little bit of invisibility, which I like. It makes them kind of not noticeable, but noticeable enough. Oops. So I really like that, and it gave me a lot of ideas like how to do it with my own work. Let's see. I know we only have a few more minutes, but I want to still see what we can do this time. me a little bit of The Last of Us with all these like mushrooms and stuff going on. Just a little bit of The Last of Us happening. Just a wee bit. And there's all these other textures. I love all the texture. That's what really makes me appreciate her stuff. I just love the variety of texture and just how much attention to that she put in. It's like nothing left for like pause or no guesswork. It's just all the textures there. Okay, let's do this guy. And I like adding line to certain things. I feel like for some things it's like there's such a trend now to have little line or no line at all. But I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm such a drawer. I really like having some line in there somewhere. Not everywhere, but certain places it really like pops for me. Feels good to have all of these veins in the plants. Let's see, okay. Let's see which ones. This one has some line in it. I'm just kind of doing all of this plant line on the same layer. I don't know if that's necessarily good or not, but I think it's okay. Most of it I will change the color for though. See how it looks without. It's coming around. So much more to go. Sometimes I need to like take it off just so I can see like what I haven't done so far. Let's see with these cotton ball things. I don't know if they're supposed to be cotton balls. They look like cotton balls to me. You know what? I think the stem and the little things on the inside are two different colors. So actually want to try and keep these to the original color because I'm figuring it out. There's like little extra stems too, which is cute. Getting text messages. I don't know who's texting me. Who are you texting me? I have to say, if you are in LA, you have to try Kevin Hart's little restaurant. It's a fast food restaurant, but it's all plant based. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but I feel like he might have got the concept from the Slutty Vegan restaurant in Atlanta. I think there's one in New York now too, but it started in Atlanta. It's a vegan restaurant where they have like all like fast food type of foods, and that's exactly what he has. He has all like these fast food type of things, but it's so good. It's better than Slutty Vegan. I'll have to tell you that it is. It's better. It's so good. I'm like addicted to that place now, and honestly, haven't been a huge fan of Kevin Hart since he cheated on his wife when she was pregnant. I know it's like, that's nothing to do with art, but this is like me talking about my feelings. But anyway, not like he cares what I think, but his food, that food is so good. I will have to forgive him and like give him another chance just because his restaurant is so amazing. It's literally so good. If you are in LA, there's one in Hollywood and there's one like right by the I was about to say UNM. Lived in Albuquerque for way too long. What's the name of that? USC, that very famous college out here. So I would recommend either one, doesn't matter. But the one in by USC doesn't have a drive-through. It's like walk up. I just went to that one last night. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, I'm vegan. Not that you care, but just saying. That's a whole part of who I am. Every once in a while, I messed up a few times, like eating ice cream, like regular ice cream, and I wasn't supposed to. But it's hard. That's been the hardest thing, is just giving up ice cream. There are like good vegan ice creams, but it's just not available as regularly or as as in many places, and it's always more expensive. So that's kind of the idea, Eat less bad foods because they're less available. Anyway, let's see. Do I have time to do a couple more line works? I want to do this big leaf here, and then I think maybe I'll do like these big leaves here, and then I'll call it a day, or call it a wrap for this episode. Or maybe I'll keep going. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows here? I can do anything I want. Because this is my space. So if I want to keep going for another 5.5 hours, I'm not doing that. Just kidding. And definitely not going for 5.5 hours, but I don't know. I'm going to go for a little bit longer today, maybe. Who knows? I told you guys, I almost thought about doing this as a 2-hour thing, but I didn't want to overwhelm myself, so that's why I cut it back, which I think is a good idea. As someone who has, I definitely have like mental health struggles from time to time, as many of us do, if we're honest with ourselves. So, I mean, it's a good reason. Mine have been anxiety. That's been like probably the biggest thing that I've always had, and I didn't realize I had it for many years. And I just thought that was normal, even though it wasn't. I didn't realize that what I was experiencing wasn't normal. But yeah, anxiety and depression for a long time. Thank God, the depression has gotten a lot better over the years. I think it's very much due to doing a lot of self-work, and I've talked about that in increments before. But that's something that I feel like is sort of like a lifelong journey. I don't think it ever fully goes away. I just think you learn different ways of coping. It's almost like dealing with loss. This is one of those things that is just like there, but I think you can get stronger, and you can learn more ways to cope. What whatever you need. And I think everybody's kind of different too. Doing this helps. Having an outlet, for me, drawing has always been like a peaceful place. It's always kind of been sort of meditative in many ways for me. I know it's not the same for everybody, but I think it's a meditative practice for me. And these are kind of white anyway, so I'm just gonna put them there now because you can't really see them the other color that much. I feel like I jumped around on topics so much today. I feel like I talked about everything. Oh, that's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just had a lot floating around in my noggin, so why not mention it? All those random thoughts. I heard my dog. She's not right under me this time. Sometimes she is like right there. Like a lot of times when I'm drawing on the desk, she's right underneath my desk. She's sweet though. She's a very sweet girl. It's really calming doing these little lines. Maybe for her, maybe for Lucy is also calming. Maybe that's why, or part of the reason why she's adding so many lines, because the line part is really like kind of soothing to do. At least it feels that way for me. I know artists have many different reasons why they do things. Of course, you want to make things always be like aesthetic, but a lot of times artists will do different techniques because it does something for them. I know that often I use mediums and I choose workspaces because they bring me peace. I think that's part of it. It's like just finding things that feel good to you as an artist. I think that makes a difference. One thing that's always kind of brought me peace is kind of drawing what I see. I think that's also why I like doing this studying the master stuff, is because I don't know, when I'm drawing, I can do things from my imagination, and I always have loved like making silly stuff from my imagination, making like little gags and stuff like that. And since I started like telling stories, I do a lot of that. A lot of that comes from just internal. But I've always sort of had a piece about just drawing what I see, and that is a really peaceful process for me. So I think that's also part of the reason why I wanted to continue on in this series, because I don't know, drawing from observation to me is really, I don't know. You can just, I just get in the zone really easily when I'm drawing that way. I don't have to like overthink anything. And I think sometimes when I'm doing other certain forms, I feel like I'm overthinking or doing a lot of problem solving. And like right now, I don't feel that. I just feel like I'm just almost like just doodling. So if it does give you like peace to do it, just trying different things out, trying different artist techniques, then I think to do it, because any way that you can kind of get your practice in, doesn't matter if you're working like from photograph, from other people's art, from like whatever type of art that, you know, whatever. If it's bringing you some peace, then maybe it's a sign that that's a good thing to do. I'm very much into like signs these days. I've been looking for signs, especially in my career. Like, where, God, do you want me to go? That's what I've been like mostly praying for, is my direction. Like, where am I going? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do in my life? What do I want to do in my career? What is, you know, what am I actually going to succeed at? Because I felt like I have faced many failures, and I want to like stop playing around and like get to what I'm getting to, whatever that is. So I don't know, it's a funny thing. It seems like it's a funny thing anyway. I wish I could play music on these, because I really just want to hear some music and jam out with you guys. That's what I want. But, you know, the freaking copyright. If I could just have like a soundtrack of royalty free music, that would be kind of nice. I don't even know if they do that. Do they do like whole soundtracks? You probably have to put it together yourself with like a string of different royalty free songs. That just sounds like another pain in the butt thing to have to do. I just want to give it a little bit of variety, even though I know I'm gonna have to come back with the alpha lot. I'm like kind of thinking in advance, like let me try and make this as painless as I can be when I actually come back to it. Stop calling me people, whoever you are. Don't call me. I get so offended sometimes when I get a phone call. I'm like, why are you calling me? Just text me. Only like 3 people in my life to call me. It's my mom, my husband, and my son. If you're not one of those 3 people, then do not call me. It's like, oh, I mean, I don't want to be rude, but kind of like don't want to talk to everybody on the phone. I have anxiety. I don't need that in my life. I don't need more anxiety. Get like social anxiety. I don't need more of that eating away at me. Leave me alone. Let me be. Let me draw my stuff. Can't believe how fast this year is going. I feel like you shouldn't even saying that because I feel like people always say that every year, but I do feel like it's going pretty quick. I wanted to make some major changes this year too. I want to make some like major. I want like life-changing stuff, like good life-changing stuff to happen this year. Is that too much to ask? You want to like have like a major, like amazing life experience? Is that like asking for too much? I don't think so. I'm 40. 40's a I'm turning 40 in 10 days. I want to have a major, amazing life thing happen for me. I don't think that's asking for too much. For my 40th birthday, that's what I want for myself. Major, life-changing epicness. I don't think that's too much to ask for. I can't make any promises, but I may just do all the line work right now. Who is calling me? Just leave a message at the tone. Thank you. Leave a message at the beep or the boop, whatever. Stop calling me repeatedly. She does these things, which I think are kind of cool and fun. These lines on the rock. I don't know where she got that from, but I kind of like it. I kind of wanted to incorporate it, but I feel like if it's too much of a staple of hers, then I don't want to like be like a copycat. But I really like it. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll find my own way of doing that. That could probably be a go around. Like finding my own way of doing something that I like and that another artist does. And be like, that could be kind of a thing. Why is this so fun to just doodle like this? I don't know. This is really fun for me. I feel so peaceful. This is, maybe it's just that I like drawing. I haven't saved in a while, so let me save just in case the apocalypse decides to happen now and I'm not saved. And yes, I would care about my art even in the apocalypse. I think I would. Just a couple of like scratchy lines. More texture stuff. Just got these little water lines, which I think are really cute. those are there. A couple of these have them too. It's like mini water lines. Some of them are thicker, which I'll probably come back with a thicker brush again for some of these, but just to kind of get the idea. Even there's like a little mushrooms. Oh, they're probably at the bottom of the water. How cute. And why is there little mushrooms in the middle of the water? Oh, bottom. How creative. You are so creative, Lucy. We should talk sometime. Not like you want to talk to me, but she's in the UK somewhere. I don't know. But I really like that idea of having a little bit of something. That'd be so cool to like see a little froggy or something. Maybe I'll do that. A little frog. She doesn't have that, but it'd be so cute if you can see the frog underneath the water. Just kind of doing his little frog thing. It's kind of fun. Doing this little froggy stuff underneath the water. Why not? It's fun. I think that's kind of the idea, and I talked about that too. It's like with children's book illustration, it should be fun. And I think it's kind of good to embrace your childlike self, because that's who you're, essentially talking to. It's like other people, like who are, little kids, and they see all those little silly things, and it makes them laugh. Like they appreciate like the small things in life because they've never experienced it before. So little cute stuff, like I feel like go ahead and give it a try. It's like a bit of like shading in this area with like pencil, so I'm just gonna add in some of that. Some of it is like I really like adding the little texture with the little circles too, and the gravel especially. Like it took me a while, I'll say, to figure out doing texture to make like just solid color look like dirt and gravel, and just adding little spots and speckles and stuff can make a big difference. It's one of the things I noticed anyway. Alrighty, let's get over to this side and try and add some stuff over here. Some more plants. I'm gonna start adding a little bit more of like the color of the actual local color, because with how many different things going on, I don't want to like be an awful lot for 3 days trying to figure out what to change, and it's hard to like figure out like how you want to do things sometimes. Sometimes it's just a little bit or a lot of trial and error and just seeing what feels right for you. And some of these feel like they're like a little bit of an infinity. So I'll give that a shot. See how I like it. And some of these are colored in. So I'll have to just see how I want to. And just overlapping. There's more flower. This is flowers everywhere. Flowers, plants, all of the above, everywhere. Tall, short, in between, just all of it. And I'm here for that. This is a lot. Okay, let's see. This one. Another set. So, and let's see. This one is probably, you know what, I'm gonna make this one taller. This one comes up. This is a fun little plant over here. And I feel like I've seen these. I don't know where, maybe like Florida or something. But I know these plants and I don't know what they're called. I'm not good with plant names. Definitely not like a plant expert by any means. But I want to start studying plants more, especially just for the purpose of drawing and just practicing drawing like many different types of plants and just add to that library, you know, that mental library, because I really like, I don't know, they can be so fun. I didn't realize how fun they were until recently. But plants can add a lot to your drawing. Like a whole lot. That one is actually not really colored in, but let's see. There's even some ones that are like kind of really desaturated, which is kind of fun. It looks like it's really far in the background. Like some sticks and things. Let's see. Starting to get hungry. Always happens to me on the live stream. I'm like, I've been drawing for a minute. Starting to feel some pressure. Getting hungry. So I'm gonna actually put these flowers on this layer just because I don't want to forget where their place is. So they're like so round. And it looks like they might have even been drawn in with pencil. Like they could have been. It's a bit brighter though. this area, but maybe I just made this one too big. Just so I can have space for the other one. Okay, there's that one, and then this has a little flower on it too. Okay, I like that, I like that. I feel like I can put a little bit of that second color in there. And this one also has a little flower too, more of a pointy one. Nice. Okay, it's feeling a little fun. I'm gonna work on these plants. Up here, because just their plainness is, I feel like robbing the picture a little bit. This is how uncolored they are at the moment and untextured. It's just kind of bugging me, so incorporate that. It's definitely very different than doing the Mary Blairs. There was so little like line in the Mary Blair, if any, and a lot of the cases. So this is feels very, very different than Mary Blair's style. Which I was thinking they were kind of similar, but as far as line goes, it's a very big difference. Mary Blair is much more about blocking colors and just adding texture in a different way. Not adding texture like here, but adding texture and color, which is very different than what Lucy does. That's kind of the cool thing about doing these, is that you just kind of, you start to understand what makes different artists different. What is it about them that makes their work so different than the last artist that you're a fan of, that you studied? So many different ways to do things. So many. There's so many different ways to do art in general, but I just feel like with this illustration stuff, it's just endless options, which is, it's pretty awesome, because you can kind of, but at the same time, you know, you're expected to, I feel like that sounds like what the expectation is that you have like one consistent style. I feel like I'm still learning myself in certain ways. Like, I have certain things that I probably like to do, and maybe some things I feel like I'll always kind of do. But as far as technique, definitely more on the experimental side of things. Maybe I'll just try 9. Let's see how that works. Trying out some stuff because I know she has like that color in there. I'm just trying to figure out how to place it, how I want to place it. I might change this tone of green. Feels a little bit brighter than what I want to work with, but let's figure out the rest of the stuff first before we get back into like the other things. I really want to get a lot of this line work out of the way. These leaves over here are a little bit different than the other ones. Alright, what do I want to work on next? Let's see. I think I'm going to do these little lily pods, or whatever they are. I'm not sure what these things are called. Palm? I have no idea. I'm not sure what the proper name for them are. Whatever these are, do these. Another one over here. The height is a little bit different than how she has it, but I'm wondering if I might just leave that alone. I think her leaves might just come up a little bit higher than mine are. Erase this stuff over here. I gotta remember that I gotta also keep myself aware and mindful that I need to speak to the mic and be loud enough. Sometimes when I get in my zone, I'll check out, like, not intentionally, but sometimes it kind of happens a little bit. Not an intentional thing. It just happens from time to time. There's like also like these secondary ones which are a little bit bluer in color. Which is, I mean, I think that's cool. She's adding like some variety there, but less saturated. Quite a bit less saturated. It's the same thing, mixing that warm and cool colors together, so you're making like, you're adding in that variety for warm and cool to coexist together, which is really, makes it more pleasing for the eye, you know? There's like two more here, and I'll do another one like down here. But you kind of just like stuck those blue ones in the middle, you know? So it's not too distracting, which is smart. Connect somehow. Okay. Let's see. I want to add in these little mushrooms. They're not so little mushrooms. And we'll see. We'll start to wrap up in a few minutes. I really want to make like progress, like significant progress over here. Maybe I'll add the color even on a separate layer for these, because they do have a lot of color in them, but maybe I'll just put in that bulk of their line and then worry about the color later. Mario's world over here with all of these mushrooms now. It's like the mushroom kingdom. Major mushroom kingdom vibes happening. Speaking of ice cream, I want some ice cream now. There's this really good place close to me that has like amazing ice cream. They have the vegan ice cream, which I love. They're a little bit expensive, but I don't know. They're good. They're kind of worth it. Maybe I'll go there today. I was just there like 2 days ago. Maybe I'll go back. Maybe I will have to go back. I've been kind of good though with the gym. I've been at the gym a couple of days this week, so it's kind of like my little excuse to eat ice cream. The vegan ice cream, that is so good. Okay, there's some other plant happening over here. Like a little stem of something. This one is like seriously blue. It's like super blue. Kind of came. I think this is the only thing in the piece that's this color. I'm just gonna do it this color because it's so I know it just stands out. I think it's meant to, for whatever reason. I think it's meant to draw that attention back to the middle, which is, you know, where our characters are. So I think that's having this bright color here. I think that's part of her composition, just like leading your eye into the right direction, which is smart. We need that, especially when we have a lot of stuff going on. We need something to make our audience know, all right, this is where I want you to look. You might think your audience just knows, but they don't. Especially anybody. You think it may be just kids, but adults are just as attention deficit, if not even more sometimes. It's just how it is. icon. There's like a couple of other STEMmy type of stuff happening over here, which I'll add. I like that she does the little bushes really simplified with these little type of stem stuff that just kind of happens here and there. I think it's so cute. Just, it's what's the word? It's like a creative word for it. It's suggesting to your audience, like you're just suggesting things. You're not adding all the details. You just enough so they can kind of get it. I think that's really cute. I'll add even some texture here. Some of the line that's happening with this log. Wood line there happening. Let's see. And these are actually most of these are over here in color, but I just want to plop them in there a little bit. That it looks, she's got a couple of different mushrooms in different spots over here. Even over here in the water. Oh, I have those already. But it's nice that she's adding just little bits of teal to like bring that color back in different spots. What the heck is happening? Somebody is moving a whole somebody. I haven't lived on a bottom apartment in a long time, and I'm recognizing why. These people do not disregard all their noise making. They don't care. So annoying when that happens. I think I want to start just adding the right color. At least then you don't have to worry about coming back the more you do that. So I don't know. I thought it would take longer, but actually I'm thinking maybe it doesn't matter either way. You're gonna have to do it, so might as well do it sooner, get it over with. The color swapping. So some places I'll do that. There's one that comes straight up. It's so weird when you see plants too that do that. They just come straight up out of the ground. It happens in nature. I do feel like I want to send a newsletter to my group. I haven't emailed in a minute. It's been way too long. But it will be what's been happening here on the channel. The live streams. I've done a lot of live streams in the last couple of weeks because I added, the new Studying the Masters, which we're doing now, and I've added the book club. So there's been a couple of new things I've been doing, so I want to share all of that stuff with the community. If you're not already in my newsletter, you can add. It's on my website. Actually, it's right below if you click the link when this is on YouTube. I have the link in there. You get a free PDF making of the making of JD's story, which is an awesome thing. It's so really I created it when I was doing the Kickstarter for my first book. So it's a lot of images, making a process, what that was like for me. I think I included the art show that I did have that's also in there when I was in graduate school, and I put together a show. So there's photos of that event in there, a lot of sketching, the original stuff that I sketched. So there's a lot of fun stuff in there. happening up there? What are people doing? Maybe they're moving in a new oven? Or, I don't know what's happening. This one another leaf that's like right here that I didn't even notice before. Alright, I'm just gonna keep. I want to add this texture to the log because I feel like the log is such a center point that I want to not neglect getting in the line work for that. A lot of little mushrooms and stuff happening over here too. It's annoying that I can't like twist my thing around like how I would if I was on my iPad, but it's alright. A lot of different, so many little mushrooms. So many. Little shapes happening. And the sun is home. So we actually have to go out in a little bit. So I will be cutting the cord soon. But we got a lot done today for sure. All of this stuff, all of this line work. Yep. The way that she did the shadow, I'm gonna just leave some of that there right now. Try and fill in some of these over here. Some of these little actions. Trying to get my light balance for where I want to put the line and where I kind of want to leave it, to the imagination. So we'll see how much of it. Even some of these I feel like I can add a little bit of that second color variation for that. There's a bunch of little mushrooms over here. I'm so glad we got all this line work done today. If I had ended it like an hour ago, it would have been a whole extra hour. So next week, like I would have still been right where there was and doing still like all of this. So I'm definitely gonna do the rest of the line work during the week, and we'll come back next week and finish up this color because I do want to move on to my next artist. And if there's any particular artist that you want to see and I like their work, make sure you leave a comment, and then I can know like who to be looking up, because I have like the artist in mind that I want to use, but at the same time I am open to a couple of different ones too. I want to show variety since this is not about one particular artist, about a whole genre of children's books. So I want to make sure that I incorporate a bit of that, a good amount of variety for you all. So let's see. Here. Like I said before, there's so much line and detail that it's just like impossible to try and do all of it live. Let's see, there's some, I know I'm like getting there because I know that we're about to run out of time. She's got like scribbles in here that I want to incorporate. It's literally like scribble, but it looks cute. Like I said about being playful. Not being afraid to be playful with this type of work. She's got also some light color in there scribbled in. I think it's a little bit thicker. Lighter. And bluer. Maybe not quite that light. Let's try that and see how that looks. That might be right color. Or the right shade I'm looking for. Alright, let's see. I think I'm gonna wrap it up just a bit. Just want to add like one more thing. I want to add some of that texture that's of some of these lines actually that are in here, that are in this bush, because I think that will make a big difference to where we're finishing off at. Alright, so let's go ahead and add that in. Actually comes in much further. I really like this. It's so fun. I know I say that a lot, but it is fun. Just the way everything is done is like really just cute as heck. These little type of bush things. It's like little suggestions of leaves and stuff. Alright, so as we're winding down, just a note, just really truly, all of the new subscribers, all the people who have been subscribed, just thank you guys so much for like sticking with me, and like it means incredible amounts to know that, you know, somebody is getting value from this, somebody is like benefiting from this, and not just, you know, talking to myself. Even though I do that a lot here, it's not only me talking to me, it's like some people, 616 people are getting value from this, and I really truly appreciate that. So thank you guys for being here. If you haven't already subscribed, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button and support me out a little bit. And let me know that you like what I'm doing. It really helps me to stay motivated and want to just keep going because I know that it's helping somebody. That makes all the difference in the world to me. To know that I'm doing something, it's giving back some sort of value for people. That's literally why I do this. I want to be able to contribute and help people understand art and help you to take away a lot of the guesswork, because art can be complicated. So the less like questions we can have about it, like confusion, like this is like hopefully like clarifying, like all that stuff that feels like complicated, and like when you feel unsure, like how do I even begin making a children's book or starting to do children's book illustration. I don't have like experience. I don't have the money to go to school or whatever the case is, or I'm changing my career, whatever. People come from so many different variety of situations, and you might even be in a different country where it's not even like possible for you right now to go to like an art school. So I just hope I can take away some of that guesswork, make things a little bit easier for a few people, and that's exactly why I'm here. A little bit lighter even. So let me see, I do a few more little bits of texture pops here and there. And I think there's like one little branch in there that I really want to add. It's like right up here, and it's coming down from this leaf. I know, I don't even want to stop. It's so cool and fun to do this. But I even use my shift to make it like a straight line. No, it's not perfectly straight, so let me take that out. It's like coming like this. It might be a little bit darker than this, but it's okay. A little more orangey. To end, but I don't want to. I want to just keep making more. Alright, this will be it, I promise. Let me just do these little leaves here, just adding a little bit to them, and then I promise I will quit it. So addicting. It feels addicting to just do this. Alright, okay. The end. I will continue working on this whole process. The next time we meet, hopefully I will have all of my line work done. Let's save. Let's go ahead and save it where we're at. And I'm going to turn on just the character line. Oh, it's so fun. It's so much like the original. Yay, we're getting there. Look at all this progress, guys. We made so much progress today. I know it took 2 hours, but check out that progress though. Made a lot of progress. It looks so cute. I love it. Thank you guys. I'm gonna switch my view. Let me do a full screen of this just so you guys can see like how much progress we made today. Looks so nice. I'm so happy with it so far. This has been a great studying the masters, and I'm so glad that you guys are with me. Thank you so much for tuning in with me this Friday, April 5th. 10 more days, countdown. 10 days to 40. Ah! 10 days. Oh my god, I gotta get some Botox or something. I never had Botox, but I was like, when I turn 40, I'm gonna get it. So, I don't know, maybe I'll try. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Love you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, awesome weekend. And if you're having your spring break, happy spring break. If you just finished, get back to work. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. Be grateful, live balanced, be yourself, and have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.